Ladies and gentlemen, let me share something that truly transformed my life. One day, a mentor looked me straight in the eye and said, "Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better." That statement hit me hard because here's the truth. Many people spend their lives hoping the world will change, that their job will become easier, the economy will improve, or that others will finally recognize their efforts. But real progress doesn't happen when life becomes simpler. It happens when you become stronger, sharper, and wiser. The key isn't waiting for the storm to pass, it's learning how to navigate through rough winds. Success doesn't come from hope, it comes from skill. It doesn't respond to complaints, it responds to competence. Success doesn't arrive for those who wish, it comes to those who work. So I ask you, are you using your energy hoping things will change? Or are you focusing on becoming the person who can handle whatever comes your way? This message isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for the builders, the learners, the doers. If you're ready to stop waiting and start growing, stay with me, because what follows might be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Life is meant to challenge you, not to comfort you. Here's something that might surprise you. Life isn't supposed to be easy. It won't just hand you everything you want. Life isn't your servant. It's your coach. And coaches don't spoil you, they push you. I didn't always understand this. When I was younger, I wished things were easier. I used to wonder why everything felt like an uphill battle. But then I received this lesson, and I hope you take it to heart. Don't wish for life to be easier. Wish to become better. Now let me explain what challenges really are. Challenges aren't walls blocking your path. They're mirrors reflecting who you are. Life says, here's delay. What will you do? Here's pressure. How will you respond? Here's disappointment. Will you grow bitter or better? Too many people react by complaining, blaming, or giving up, saying life isn't fair. But I say, of course it's not fair. That's the point. Fear doesn't make you strong. Struggle does. Fear doesn't teach patience. Difficulty does. Fear doesn't demand growth. Life does. Understand this. If you remove the challenge, you remove the lesson. If you remove the obstacle, you remove the opportunity. That mountain ahead of you, it's not a punishment. It's proof that there's something inside you ready to climb. Don't resent the mountain. Be grateful for the climb ahead, because on the other side awaits a version of yourself you've never met. Here's the truth. If life were easy, you'd be bored, weak, and without stories, strength, or victories. You don't build muscle by lifting feathers. You don't develop character by avoiding the heat. And you don't create a life worth living by running from discomfort. Want the good news? Life will give you exactly the challenges you need to become the person you're meant to be. That truth might either inspire you or intimidate you, and your response will shape your future. Think about this. When was the last time you said, "This is hard," and actually smiled? Ever done that? That's power. That's when the game changes, because at that moment, you're no longer a victim. You're a player. You're not waiting for mercy anymore. You're building mastery. The challenge isn't blocking your path, it is the path. So here's a mindset to adopt. Don't ask for fewer problems, ask for more wisdom. Don't wish for easier days, work for greater discipline. Don't seek less pressure. Grow the shoulders strong enough to carry more. And here's what happens when you improve. Everything else feels lighter, not because the burden has changed, but because you have. Let me finish with this. You weren't made to be pampered or sheltered. You were made to grow, to stand tall, and to lead. So next time life gets tough, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "Try me." That's when life knows you're ready. Complaining is a poverty habit. Trade it for learning. Now let's have an honest conversation about one of the most costly habits you can develop. No, it's not overspending, overeating, or even procrastinating, though those are close. It's complaining. Complaining is the language of poverty. Mental, emotional, spiritual, and eventually financial poverty. Don't get me wrong, we all get frustrated and disappointed. We all have moments when we throw up our hands and say, "Why is everything so difficult?" But here's the difference. Successful people might feel frustration, but they don't live there. There's a line between venting and building a life based on excuses. Some people have made complaining their full-time job. No resume, no income. But they show up every day, right on time. Here's the formula. When you complain, you lose twice. Once in the moment, and once in the lesson you miss. Every difficulty has two parts, the problem and the wisdom. Complaining blocks the wisdom. When your mouth is full of grumbling, your mind shuts down to growth. I learned this early. The person who complains the most learns the least. Why? Because they focus on what happened instead of asking, what can I learn from this? Life will hand you dirt, but it's your choice whether to plant something in it or just roll around feeling sorry for yourself. You've heard people say it's always something. Maybe you've been that person, complaining it's too hot or too cold, wanting more money but whining about more responsibility. That's not a tough life. That's a weak mindset. If you want life to improve, graduate from blame and enroll in personal responsibility. Here's the key. Every time you feel the urge to complain, pause and replace it with curiosity. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What can I improve next time? What does this reveal about your habits, your mindset, and your preparation? Complaining never improves the situation, but learning does. It ensures you handle challenges better next time. Let me be clear. Winners are learners, while losers linger. Winners learn from every setback. Losers just stay stuck. They replay the same complaints over and over. Some people spend years stuck complaining about a bad month. That's not just poor thinking, it's a poverty mindset. Break that habit tonight. Here's what I want you to do. Start keeping a learning journal, not a complaint diary. Write down what happened, how you reacted, what you learned, and what you'll do differently next time. Soon, life won't feel like it's happening to you. It will feel like it's happening for you, because it always has been. You just couldn't see that through the fog of your own complaints. Let me close with a challenge for the next 7 days. No complaining, not about the weather, your boss, traffic, or even your aches and pains. Replace every complaint with a lesson and watch your mindset shift, your energy increase, and your progress skyrocket. Success is allergic to complainers, but embraces those who are students of life. So remember, complaining is a poverty habit. Break it, replace it, and rise with the mindset of a learner. When you stop complaining, you start growing. And when growth begins, life opens up in ways you never imagined. This is the magic of skill. You can always improve. Let's talk about one of the greatest gifts you've ever been given. No, it's not talent, money, or luck. It's this, the ability to get better. That's right. You can improve at anything, any time. No permission needed, no gatekeeper required. That's real magic. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be isn't a miracle, fate, or waiting for external circumstances to change. It's skill. And the best part, skill is learnable. You weren't born knowing how to speak, lead, sell, or solve problems. You learned those things. What you've learned, you can build on. What you don't know, you can pursue. What you're weak at, you can strengthen. Some say, I'm just not good at that. That's not a fact. It's a story. Change the story and you change the outcome. You're not bad at something. You're just unpracticed. Practice, my friend, leads to progress. Progress builds confidence, and confidence creates success. Let me be straightforward. Skill turns average into exceptional, potential into profit. Skill takes someone from humble beginnings and places them on stages around the world. I didn't wish for better results. I worked on better skills. Now, let's get practical. Want to make more money? Learn a valuable skill. Want to lead your team better? Master communication. Want to overcome your own excuses? Build discipline as a skill. Success isn't a one-time event. It's a compounding effect created by the person who says, I'll read the book, take the course, stay up late, show up early, and push myself. That's how skill grows. Not overnight, but day by day. Talent is nice, but talent without skill is a wasted seed. Talent is potential, skill is power in motion. It's the person who practices piano who fills the concert hall, not just the one born with talent. So let me say it again. Skill is the great equalizer. Doesn't matter where you started, who doubted you, or how many times you failed. Skill says, show up and I'll reward you. So here's the question. What skill are you actively developing right now? Not just thinking about, not planning to, and definitely not just wishing for. I mean, what are you working on today that will make you more valuable tomorrow? Because here's the truth. Money follows value, value follows skill, and skill follows effort. If you want more from life, you have to invest more in yourself. Start where you are, start small, but start now. If you improve just one skill a year, public speaking, sales, leadership, time management. In 5 years, you'll be 5 times more valuable. And when you're 5 times more valuable, you don't just earn more, you attract more. Opportunity doesn't have to be chased, it finds you. Let me close this out. Skill is the bridge from wishing to winning. It's the path from where you are to where you want to be. And the best part, it's available to anyone, including you. So pick a skill, work on it, sharpen it, build it, stack it. As you get better, everything around you improves too. That's the magic of it. Success isn't easier for others. They're just better at something. Do you ever look at someone successful and think, must be nice, they have it easier, they probably had a head start? Here's a message for you. Success isn't easier for others, they're just better at something. No mystery, no magic, no secret handshake behind the curtain. They developed a skill, they built a mindset, they practiced a habit. They made the decision to get better, not bitter. Now don't get me wrong, life isn't always fair. Some people do get a head start, some have more tools. But here's what I've learned. Success isn't about where you start, it's about where you start. Success isn't about where you start, it's about where you start. And most people never do. They're too busy comparing, complaining, explaining why it's easier for everyone else. But the truth is, everyone has their own mountain to climb. The difference, some just have better boots. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't grow up with much. I was broke at 25. I blamed everything, the government, the company, the economy, the weather. Then one day, someone changed my life with this hard truth. Your problem isn't the world, your problem is you. That was tough to hear, but it started my transformation. Because once you stop blaming, you start building. Here's what successful people do. They identify the gap and close it. They figure out what they're missing, a skill, a discipline, a relationship, a resource, and they get to work. They don't waste time asking, why is it easier for her? They ask, what can I learn from her? That's the difference. Let's get practical. See someone succeeding in business? They probably learned how to sell. They read books, made calls, took hits. See someone with influence? They probably learned how to speak. They practiced until their voice carried weight. See someone with freedom? They probably learned how to manage money, discipline themselves, strategize, and delay gratification. It wasn't easier, it was earned. And here's one more thing. Success leaves clues. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Follow the path. Don't envy the person with the mansion. Study their methods. Don't resent the woman with the results. Mirror her routines. Because if you do what they do, you can have what they have. So here's my challenge for you tonight. Instead of feeling behind, get busy catching up. Instead of comparing yourself, start preparing. Instead of scrolling through everyone else's highlight reel, focus on building your own. Open a book, take a course, join a mastermind. Whatever it takes to learn the skill that makes the difference. Success isn't reserved for a few. It's earned and rewards those who show up, train hard, and keep leveling up. You might say, I'm not there yet. That's good. It means you have something to build, and when you build it, you'll truly own it. There's something powerful about earning your confidence. Not borrowing it, not faking it, but working for it. Here's the bottom line. Nobody has it easier. They simply worked harder, longer, and smarter at something that made them valuable. The great news? You can do the same. Starting today, stop saying, I wish I had their life, and start saying, I'm ready to build mine. Success isn't easier for them. They're just better at something. Now it's your turn. You don't need fewer problems. What you really need is more capacity. Let me be honest. This truth might hit hard. Fewer problems won't come, but growing your capacity to handle them will. You might be thinking, you don't know what I'm dealing with, but the truth is, everyone has problems. The rich, the poor, the strong, and the weak all face challenges. Even the person smiling on Instagram has problems. They just filter them better. Life isn't about escaping difficulties. It's about outgrowing them. The goal isn't a problem-free life. That's a fantasy, like a theme park. This is real life, and problems don't stop showing up. What changes is your ability to handle them. The key isn't making life easier. It's making yourself bigger than what you face. Here's what changed everything for me. I used to pray, please take away my problems, but they didn't disappear. So instead, I stopped praying for less pressure and started training for more resilience. I stopped wishing for calm waters and learned how to sail through the storm. Imagine this, you have a bucket and life begins pouring water, stress, deadlines, bills, setbacks. You can beg life to stop pouring, or you can get a bigger bucket. Which do you think works better? You can't control the water, but you can control the size of your container. That's capacity. That's personal growth. Now be honest. Are you growing your capacity or just wishing life would slow down? When you grow, the same problems that once stressed you now meet your calm. The pressures that used to break you now build you. The crises that knocked you down now find you standing taller. Why? Because you got bigger. Growing capacity involves training your mind like an athlete trains their body. Read, journal, reflect, and learn. Emotional maturity is just as important. Not everything needs a reaction. Learn to pause, breathe, and choose your response instead of reacting impulsively. Physical endurance matters too. Your body fuels your clarity and momentum. Take care of yourself because life is a marathon, not a sprint. Lastly, spiritual grounding is key. Know who you are, what you believe in, and hold to your values even when the pressure is high. When you grow all these areas, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, you expand your bucket. Life can pour in the same amount, but you won't drown. You'll thrive. The secret is this. The higher you want to climb, the more pressure you have to handle. And those at the top, they have built the capacity to carry it. They're not where they are because life was easier. They got there because they built the muscle to carry more than most people are willing to bear. That's leadership. That's success. That's character. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, don't say this is too much. Say this is showing me where I need to grow. It's not the world that needs to shrink. It's you that needs to expand. When you do, problems stop looking like mountains and start looking like stepping stones. And let me close with this. Don't ask for lighter burdens. Ask for broader shoulders. Because when you build capacity, life doesn't have to change. You do. And when you change, you can carry more, lead more, do more, be more. That's the magic. That's the mindset. That's the path. Mindset is muscle, and it needs daily reps. Let me say something that might change how you start tomorrow morning. Your mindset is a muscle, not a mystery, not magic, a muscle. And just like any other muscle, if you don't work it, you lose it. If you don't stretch it, feed it, and strengthen it every day, it gets lazy, weak, soft. See, the difference between a winner and a warrior is not circumstance, it's conditioning. You condition your mindset the same way you condition your body, with reps, daily reps, mental reps, thought reps. Now, some folks say to me, I just want to feel more confident. All right, confidence isn't a feeling, it's a result. And that result comes from repetition. Confidence is what happens after you show up over and over, even when you didn't feel like it. You read the book, kept your promises, followed through. That's where mindset grows strong. Remember this, negativity is weight. Discipline is a rep. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, that's a rep. Every time you replace I can't with let's see how I can, that's a rep. Every time you speak life into your day instead of doubt, that's a rep. Over time, those reps stack, build, and compound. Suddenly, you're thinking differently, reacting differently, living differently. Why? Because you've been training. Now, let me tell you what most people do. They go to the gym once and wonder why they still look the same. They read one book and wonder why their life didn't change.